Yeah, so I mean, evaluating CPQ solutions is not easy, and one of the reasons why it's not easy is that CPQ solutions evolved and now are becoming, very similar in terms of capabilities, right? There are a lot of table stakes, things like the ability to create a product catalog, the ability to define bundles, the ability to define rules, ability to implement complex pricing strategies, ability to go through approvals, generate documents, send data to backend systems, right? Pretty much all of the CPQ solutions have, very decent capabilities in those areas. And by just looking at demos, you can feel like, what you're seeing in demos is very similar from one vendor to the other. So what I would encourage people evaluating CPQ to do is really go beyond those table stakes, go beyond those key capabilities, and ask yourselves, right, how am I going to administer this solution? How am I going to hire the right people to implement those solutions? How am I going to train my people? How am I going to keep them updated? How am I going to ensure that they have the right level of expertise, right? Those are key considerations, I think, that are very important when evaluating CPQ solutions. The other thing is think integration as well, right? CPQ solutions are never standalone solutions. So people often think about, how am I going to integrate this with my CRM, or am I going to integrate this with my ERP solution? But also, I think people need to now think more holistically about the value sources of revenue, right? Not all the revenue comes through the conversion of quotes into orders, right? You might have ongoing run rate type of relationship with your customers with things like pricing agreements. So maybe you will get orders that do not necessarily come from the conversion of quotes, for example. Maybe you have also service contracts with the customers, right? That's another source of revenue as well that you need to have a quoting solution for. And then you need to think as well about other channels, right? The sales channel is not the only channel. You have dealers as well, right? So how is your CPQ solution going to work to address the needs of your channel partners? Or how can I leverage what I'm going to implement in CPQ in order to expose a product catalog, in order to expose a configurator and pricing capabilities to the outside world in the sales service channels, for example. The other thing as well that's critical, I think, is whatever solution you choose, at some point there will be gaps, right? There is not a single solution out there that will address 100% of your requirements out of the box. At some point there will be gaps, and it's very important to evaluate how you are going to address those gaps. Are you going to have to rely on a third-party partner who's going to develop, some custom code in order to address those gaps, or can you have the expertise internally to address some of those gaps and be able to complement your CPQ solution to address some of the very specific use cases that you already have?